Hi everybody, it's me, Scrap and Madge, and today I am super excited to share with you a fun project that I created a couple of months ago, and I had a lot of requests on people wanting a tutorial on how I made these fun books, and so I thought, why not do it tonight? I think that that would be super fun. So we are going to go ahead and get started. Let's see, for some reason I'm not seeing people in my chat box. I see that you're there, but I don't see the chatting going on. Angela, if you're there, could you do a quick type in something for me so I can see if I can see you? Okay, anyway, all right, we're going to go ahead and get started. Like I was telling you earlier, we are going to be making a fun book. Now, this is a book that I made several months ago. I actually made this book for Teresa, the Scrapbooking Queen, for her design team call. And then I made this one here. Let me slide this one over. I made this one here for the Angela Holt design team for her last term using the Graphic 45 paper. And I had a lot of requests on asking if I would share how I made these books. So I thought, why not do it today? We are so close to Halloween that I decided not to do another Halloween project this month, but to do something a little bit fun and vintage and shabby chic looking instead. So I hope that you guys are all interested in learning on how I made these books. I actually got the idea from my sister-in-law. Her name is also Mandy Gillen, isn't that crazy? But she had the idea of making these books, and I don't know if she's seen it somewhere else or not, but she was the originator for me, introducing me on how to make these books. So I thought that I would share the love and show you what you can do. Now, with these books, you can keep them as just a fun, like a picture frame type of a thing. Let me show you what they look like with a picture, because originally that's what mine was for. It had a picture in it, and when I had decided to try out for the Scrapbooking Queen's design team, I thought, how cute would that be altered? And so I just kind of went to town in altering it. So, but before we get started with that, let me just show you how cute it looks with just a photo instead. Let's see. Instead of the embellishments, because it is darling, and you can do that as well. So you can just go ahead and put a little picture in there. And look how cute that is. That frames the picture just right. So if you, if you decide that you don't want to embellish the inside of your book, but you want to keep it as like a cute picture inside, you can do that too. And you can also decorate the outside and still use it as a picture frame. So the possibilities are endless on how to use these cute books. This one is the look for, I've actually stuck that flower down there. Let me see if I can pull it up and show you what it looks like with this cute picture in there. So now you can see the picture in this one, and then you can see the picture in this one as well. And it just gives it just the right touch. So I'm really super excited to see everybody. Nikki is on, Toxic Sass is on, Pam is here. I'm so excited you guys are all here and watching and How super fun. So anyway, but you can get the drift on these cute little books. So that is what I'm going to be sharing with you today. Nothing too fancy, nothing too crazy. But let's go ahead and get started. So I'm just going to take the pictures out here and go back to just the embellishments that you can use for a just for a fun home decor piece in your home. So I'm going to go ahead and push those off to the side. And now, before we actually get started with the books and things, I would like to share with you the kit that we are going to be using for this. Now, this was our May kit, and it was called Flea Market. And it's using a lot of My Mind's Eye paper and some Echo Park. And so I'm just going to quickly go over the papers with you because I do have 2 of these kits available for purchase. I was going through my stash. I thought this kit was actually sold out, but I do have 2 available, and I'm actually going to be giving 1 away tonight to 1 lucky winner. So we are super excited. So we just start with a nice, fun peach colored cardstock. I know the coloring isn't the best right there. We come with a nice toffee colored cardstock and a craft colored cardstock. Now this kit is my mini kit, and it is a 6 by 12. So all the pieces of paper that you will be seeing are 6 by 12. This piece is from Echo Park. It has some cute hot air balloons on it and a really fun, nice print on the back. This one is from My Mind's Eye, and it has some doilies with like an old fence look, and then on the back is just the fence without the doily. This one again is My Mind's Eye with some fun polka dots and another fun print with a polka dot and fun diamond on the back. This one is just a nice fun gray with a couple, like a triple dot going up the page, and this one is super fun. This one is like the herringbone type look with a salmon color. This one is really cute. This one has a lot of just nice soft colors and a nice fun pattern. And then on the back is just some small little doilies. This one is super fun. I love this minty color of green. It just is super fun to me. It looks like lace or just some fun half doilies or quarter doilies. And then on the back here you have just some cute little cloves looking things to me. They're kind of like a, not quite a flower, but just a fun pattern. Now this one is great because you have the doily and then you have the stripe to kind of break it up, but it still has the same soft look. Then you have a nice fun bold polka dot with the gray and the creamish white. And then on the back you have 2 nice hues of bluish green. Then you get this fun melony color, salmon color with a cute scallop. And then on the back you still have a lighter type of salmon melony color with a fun pattern. And last but not least, you have a fun darker gray with some asterisk type of a pattern there. And then you have a great mustard color with a nice, it looks like a label or an oval doily. Then you also get 2 small doilies. You will receive a fun, this is a fun vintage teller's receipt. You will receive 2 of the fun step out cards by Ginger Adams. These are some fun cards. The guessing work of cutting and everything is all taken out. So you'll receive the 2 cards with the envelopes for that. You will receive a fun alphabet set from American Crafts. And you will receive a really fun goodie bag of embellishments with some tickets and some labels and some buttons and some of Teresa the Scrapbooking Queen's royal jewels. So it's just a fun baggie of goodness. You get some butterflies as well in that little kit. Now mind you, I do only have 2 of these left, and they normally are $15.99, and that does include the shipping. I am going to, just because I only have two, I'm going to do these kits for $12.99, and that includes the shipping. So if you want a kit, the first two people that message me on Facebook and say, I want me, then I will go ahead and send you a PayPal invoice and you can get this kit. But mind you, like I said, I do only have two of these available. So let's go ahead and set this to the side, and let's get down to the nitty-gritty. First off, before we actually get started, do I have any questions from anyone? Okay, perfect. So now these books, I'm just going to show one of them back up on the camera. Now these books, you guys, are just some old books that we got at the thrift shop. Now, I know that there are folks out there that absolutely love, you know, the different books, and they're collectors and different things like that, and they get very upset if we cut books and different things like that. I don't want to upset anyone. I do love books myself. However, you can get these at the thrift shop for fairly inexpensive and fairly cheap. And so if you don't like to alter the real book, then definitely, you know, don't do that. Maybe go a different route with a mini album or something like that. But I do like the old vintage look and feel of these books. Now, I actually, one piece of the kit actually fell out that I wanted to share with you that actually does come in the kit as well, and that is some baker's twine and a couple straight pins. So I apologize, that actually was set off to the side there, but that is included in the kit as well. Okay, so the book that I got was, I got two actually, and I really like the covers of the Reader's Digest books. They're super cheap, but they're very fun and very vintage. They are getting harder and harder to find, but I spent no more than $1.50 to $2. Some of them I can get for $1. It just depends on who is actually pricing them. So I got this at the DI here, one of our local thrift shops, that, like I said, you can get them probably about anywhere. And this fun book is volume 4, and I loved it because it's 1963. Thought it was fun. I really like the Reader's Digest because, unlike the two that I showed you as my samples, it has a really nice pattern on it, and I really liked the pattern. You know, and if you don't like the pattern but you like the look of the book, you can always cut it up, some pattern paper and Mod Podge over top of it, and go for the gold that way as well. My suggestion to you is, if you were to do that, you would want to cover the book first before we actually cut the frame out, because it would be a little bit more difficult to try to cut the frame. I think it would just be easier to just go ahead and Mod Podge that and get that taken care of right off the bat. But for this book, I really like the cover. I like the look of it. We may Mod Podge a little bit on it and do a couple small little things, but I think for the most part, we might just keep it the way that it is. So I have another book here that I kind of have already gotten started on. I just wanted to make sure that my instructions that I gave to you are clear and there weren't any questions. And so this book actually is my test book. And as you can see, I did it a little bit backwards. I left a little bit of space here at the bottom, but I left a lot of space at the top. And it's just kind of offset to me, but I think once we get started and if we use this book, you could definitely make a banner piece and just kind of tie it all in. Now these squares on these books are going to be just a little bit different because I didn't want to cut into the fun spine part of the book. Now you could, if you had some pattern paper and you wanted to take it all the way across and down, you could make your square a little bit bigger. like this one. This one is quite a bit bigger. The measurements on this one, they actually measure 4 1/8 wide by 3 3/4 long. So if you want a bigger frame, you can just measure a little bit bigger. And then the inside of this one is 3 5/8 by 3. So that's, that's kind of what it is there. But on this one, the actual measurements are a little bit different. The outside square of the actual book is 3 1/4 by 3. And this square of paper here is 2 1/2 by 2. Okay, and I'll go over those measurements a couple more times as we get going, but I just wanted to kind of show you the process. So we have the book that just looks like this, just to go ahead and get started. And then we have the book as we got started and started cutting. So first things first is you're going to want to take your book, whichever book you decide that you want to use, and I'm going to use my template here. This is my little template from cutting before, this little square. And you're going to want to take your ruler and you're going to want to measure where you want it before you draw your square to make sure that it is what you want and it is where you want. So I went ahead and I did that, and I made myself, I don't know if you guys can see that little red dot right there by my finger. That one, and then I have some more down here and down here. These are my marking areas, okay? So we're going to go ahead and trace. I'm going to take my little template here. I'm going to set it up here on my book, and I'm going to trace. Now you can use your ruler to just do it if you would like. That's what I did for the first book, but since I have this little square here, I'm going to go ahead and use that as my marking. Let's see. Make sure that we're on. And that one's not quite straight right there on the end, so I am going to go ahead and get my ruler out and make that line straight, because it is going to drive me crazy if it's not before we start cutting. So before I get out my X-Acto knife, are there any questions? Do any of you have any questions? Okay, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and just fill that in and make sure that we're nice and straight. Okay. All right, so you can see the square. Can you see the square on the book? Okay, now we're just going to go ahead and I'm going to take my X-Acto knife. Now you're going to want to make sure that you are careful with your X-Acto knife. You don't want to cut your fingers off, so you need to be careful. Make sure that your blade is very sharp for this type of a project because it needs to cut through a very thick layer of book. Now you can use a different type of book if you want to, one that has maybe a thinner cover that's maybe worn a little bit more so it's not quite so hard to go through. But I just find just cutting it just a couple times each line, it actually does just fine. So we're going to go ahead and just start doing the X-Acto here. Is everybody excited for Halloween? Okay, I have a question for you. Who still dresses up as an adult? Who still dresses up every Halloween? because my kids think that I'm crazy because I love Halloween and I dress up every year. This year I'm going to be a Sugar Skull Witch, and probably from here on out I'm going to be a witch, but I dress up. Last year I was Waldo from Where's Waldo. And the year before that I was Cat in the Hat. So who likes to still dress up as an adult for Halloween? And if you do, or if you're dressing up this year, what are you going to be? Tell us, please tell us. I'm going to go ahead and stand up for this to give it a little bit more. It does take a little time to go through. As you can see, it's starting to come through in the front. So we're going to go back over this front piece. It's starting to come through right there. Now when you lift it up, just make sure that your fingers are out of the way to make sure that the blade goes through. Because once you get it to a certain thickness, ooh, my X-Acto fell out. That you don't want it to do. There we go. I must have untwisted it a little bit. So while I'm cutting this, who has enjoyed Angela Holt's design team's blog hop today? I haven't had a chance to hop yet, but I've heard that it is amazing. That their design team has done some amazing work. Speaking of design teams, are any of my DTs here? Okay, that front piece is done. So now we're just going to do the two sides and the ends. This is the most tedious part of doing this book, you guys. Ooh, it's way too quiet. My sweet friends, way too quiet. We're all but done, 2 more sides, and we are all but done with the X-Acto knife business. Just kind of form the, you want to just kind of make sure that you're popping the square out, so the more you push and pull, the more the book's going to go ahead and work with you. My dang blade keeps coming out. That did not happen last time to me, but I think it's because I keep accidentally unscrewing. Okay. There we go. So once you get it to a certain point, you can see that it starts to cut like a saw, and you can just go ahead and just keep cutting and cutting your book. Okay. Now, if you wanted to, you could do it enough that you could make this be, it could just fold over, and you wouldn't have to, kind of like a door. So if you didn't want to cut this one all the way through, you wouldn't have to. You could actually make it like a little peekaboo door. I'll show you what that looks like in just 1 second. Oh, just kidding. I just broke the whole thing off. But if you wanted to, you could cut layer after layer after layer, and then it would open, and you could have it open like that. But I must have used all my buff strength and ripped that right off there. So we're going to leave it like that. Okay, so now it's for the next step. And this next step, you guys, is fairly easy. We now have our template for that, and I just went ahead, and when I cut that other book, I went ahead and looked and cut there. Now, if you would like to, like in these other books, we just have gone through and we've ripped out, you know, the first couple pages. But I'm going to go ahead and just X-Acto them out. You could leave it the color if you would like, or you can leave it, you can put it, make it the color of the book. And I really like the words on the book, so we're going to use the words. But there again, you can make it your own. We're just going to take out the first couple pages there. Just try to get it as close to the spine as you can, but it's not really going to even matter once you get all of your ink and everything on there. But if you're very OCD and you have to have it, you know, perfect and clean, then you can go over it a couple more times to make sure. I am not an OCD kind of a gal. I'm a little more roll with the flow kind of a gal. So, have you seen? Okay. That's what it looks like so far. Okay, now I'm just going to go ahead and use my little template here. I'm going to open up my book. Make sure my template is where I want it. Okay, and I will give you the sizes in just 1 second. Again, just so you guys can have them in case you don't want to have to measure it out yourself. Give me one quick minute. Okay, so the measurement for this outside piece here is, the book piece here is 3 1/4 wide by 3 tall, okay? So 3 1/4 by 3, and the inside is 2 1/2 wide by 2. 2 1/2 by 2. So Angela, sweet cheeks, if you wouldn't mind posting that for me, that would be great. The book measurement is 3 1/4 by 3, and the inside is 2 1/2 by 2. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and just cut this. Now, the good news is about this one, you guys, you can cut it as deep as you want to get whatever type of effect that you want. I'm going to go probably about 50 pages deep. Just to make sure. The good news too about this is if you make a mistake, then it's not that big of a deal because you can just make your square just a tiny bit bigger, or you can cut off the first piece that you made your template. Okay, and you'll start to notice your paper is going to start to come out. And that's okay, because that's what you want. And then you'll just know that you just need to keep going to make it deeper and deeper. And this one I went just a little bit outside the line, so I need to make sure that I do it on all pages. There we go. So far, do we have any questions? I know it's just a lot of tedious work right here at the first before you can get it exactly how you are wanting it. Make sure you put enough pressure, you guys, that you're cutting through these pages. Okay, we're starting to get deeper. You'll start to see now. I know it kind of looks funny on this book because we're not taking it all the way to the side like the insides of those others, but remember I didn't do that because I didn't want to ruin the spine. I wasn't covering the spine, so that's why it kind of looks a little more off center. So your squares, you can do really whatever size you want, just as long as they're, you know, proportionate and they look nice. Because all of our book sizes are going to, you know, be different. They're not going to be the same. And it's okay if you have some rough edges, because you know what, you can always go back and fix it. So that's okay. Our goal right now is just getting the depth in the book that we want. I'm going to try to do about 50, but you don't have to do that many. It just depends on how deep you want the inset to be. I'm going to do one more quick thick strut, and then we'll call it good. So you guys just don't have to sit here and watch me use an X-Acto knife all night. I know that's what you guys came for. Just kidding. So I'm really excited today. My cousin had her sweet baby, so I'm super excited about that. That's super fun news. Does anybody have any fabulous news they would like to share? Now, if you guys have books with pictures, you are going to want to make sure that when you end, you don't end on a book with a picture, because that will take away from what you're trying to achieve. So, okay. Okie dokie. Perfect. So I think we're about that done. Let me just try to clean up. I'm going to go ahead and take this page out here, so you don't see my marking. There. So take that out. We have just a tiny bit that we need to clean up here. I'm just cleaning up the edges just a little bit. And we're going to take out a couple of the pages from beneath because they got cut, but they're not cut all the way through. Perfect. Okay, let's see. Can you guys all see that? Okay, awesome. All right, now let the fun begin. So I'm just going to go ahead and throw away some of the book pieces. Now you might want to hold on to a couple of these squares because you never know if you might be using them to decorate. So let me go ahead and brush off this table of mine. You know me and my workspaces. Got to be a little bit cleaner in order for me to work. Okay. Yay! Midge is here! She hasn't been able to watch because her sweet boys have been playing football, so she has never been able to catch a live show. So we're excited to have Midge here. Midge, if you want to share your link, she's on our design team. If you want to share your Facebook page and your blog, that would be awesome. I would love for you to do that. Then you guys can check out her awesome projects. Okay, so now we get to the fun part. Now with this book, let me show you the different types. I'm going to set this one to the side. Now on this one, you guys, like I said, the possibilities are endless. just know that that flower goes there. So I'm going to take the flower out though and actually put the picture back in for those of you that may have missed the look with the picture. And I'm going to share with you a little bit about how I did this book. Now this book was originally just plain brown, and so what I did to make this book, remember this flower goes here, so just so you are all aware. What I did was I took an ink pad and some ink, and I just did like 4 or 5 different types of stamps on the book, and I mixed some gold and some brown hues, and I just kind of laid it over and over and over and over and over again to create a fun, unique pattern. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, if it's picking up anything at all. And so I did that because I really liked that look. I took pieces from the book and I created this fun little banner. And I actually used the stamps on the banner as well. So you can do that. I just used a brown ink. I put some lace down the spine to add a little bit. I added a straight pin, some flowers, and then I even stamped on some wood veneer butterflies with a couple different colors of stamps. And then without the picture, what I did was I took a piece of just some fun pattern paper, and I did the same type of stamping. I don't know if you can see that okay. I did the same type of stamping all over this piece of pattern paper to bring it all together. I, stamped the princess with a black to bring in the black of the page books, and then I did some fun brown stamp there to bring in the princess part, and we had this little flower guy there. So that was how I did that one. And this one, I used the Graphic 45 fun paper that I did, and I believe this one is called, oh shoot, Angela, help me out here. It's Gentleman by Graphic 45. I can't quite remember the name. I wish I could remember the name, but it is by Graphic 45, and it is Gentleman. We did this one in January, and what I did is I just cut some pattern piece of banner here. I cut some fun pattern paper here on the bottom, a great fun banner piece here with 3 pearlized backed black jewels, and I tied some fun 3-girl jam crinkle ribbon along with a little key. And then I just took a piece of the pattern paper embellishment square and created this. Now this piece here, if I can get this, it's kind of stuck, is a little bit larger than the square, but I didn't mind because I just wanted to make sure that I used the golfer in the square itself. And I inked the inside here. Okay, so the possibilities are quite endless on what you can do with these books to make them your own and make them unique. So first things first is we're going to go ahead and with this book here, I really liked all of the book itself. I don't think that I really want to cover up the book because I do really like how it looks. Now our first decision that we need to make is, what are we going to use in this square here? And are we going to distress it? I really like the vintage feel, so I think we're going to distress it and make it an old look. Now in your kit that you get, or if you have, you get these fun little embellishments. Now I had told you that you would get a couple of these little guys here. And so we can just kind of pick and go through what we like, or you can cut some pattern paper. And so what I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead and use one of these punch outs that we already have, I have available to me to make the background. So I really liked this lovely day. I really liked the look of that. I thought it was cute. And when it opens up, it doesn't matter whether or not it's a little bit bigger or not, because you can just kind of fill in the square how you want. Or you could cut it off to exactly what your square is that you're looking for. So I really like the look of that. I'm going to get out my ink and I'm going to go ahead and distress it. Now I'm using a We Are Memory Keepers Fun ink. You know, this is one of my favorites. I really, really like this. So this is one of my favorites, and you can re-ink it. So you'll see me re-ink several times. Now this, since it's a tag or a pop out or a punch out, whatever you say, it does have some of those little notches on them. Okay, I'm just going to distress the whole thing because this is, like I said, an older pad, so it's not going to get too much brown. If this was a new Distress Ink heart here from We Are Memory Keepers, I would no way in shape or form go over the whole thing. So we're going to go ahead and get our scissors, and we're just going to cut off these little tag to-dos. Now, if you wanted to make this some type of a mini album or something fun like that, you could continue to cut in and cut in and cut in and make smaller and smaller, and then you could group your pages together by stapling them or gluing them together, and you could make quite the mini album by doing that route. But we're going to go ahead and just keep this to a fun, just a fun, nice home decor piece that I probably will end up putting in one of my daughter's rooms. I think that I'm going to cut the bottom off here so I can leave a little bit of the frame of the book around the edges. So I'm just going to go ahead and measure real quick. I think I'm going to cut just right underneath that scallop there, those second scallops. And let's see if how that works. Yeah, I like that. So I'm going to go ahead and ink the bottom of that now. Now remember, when you do projects like this, you guys, you need to remember, it's not the big details that make the project, it's the little details that count. So you need to make sure that you guys are aware of that. Put the time into the extra small little details. That's what I think truly makes a project unique and one of a kind. Now, for a quicker look and a quicker approach to, instead of inking the whole page, you can use some spritz, and that's actually what I'm going to do now. I'm going to grab my spritz. I'm not going to go a deep, deep brown because my brown is very, very dark. And so I am just going to go a nice, let's see, where is my color that I'm wanting here? I want a gold, just a nice pewter, coppery color. Now, I have ordered some Lindy's, and I'm super excited to use that. Super, super excited. And so when I do that, and actually get them and use them, then I will be showing you how to use those as well. I know that Angela has done several classes on that, but this one is actually called Perfect Pearls Mists, and this one is called Perfect Copper. So let's see if I can get that so it's clear for you. So that's what I'm going to be using, and I'm only going to use a tiny, tiny bit of it. So I'm just going to take, and I don't want any overspray, so I'm just going to go ahead and take it down into my garbage can and spray real quick. Now remember, if you don't like it, you don't like the look that you're getting, you can always tear the page out and start over. Okay, but that's kind of what it did. It was just a nice coppery brown feel. I really like that. Okay, and so I just want to just quickly use my heat gun that is not plugged in. Oh, buddy. Okay, we got to get that plugged in. So let me just kind of set this right here so my book doesn't close while I plug that in. Whoops. Well, my book closed, but that's okay. I went to a super fun scrapbook retreat this last weekend with some sweet, fun friends, and I took everything, and so trying to get everything back into my room has kind of been a little crazy. Okay, my stuff's, some is still in my bag and some of it's put away. It's kind of been nuts. Okay, now can you see what the pages are starting to do here? They're starting to kind of fold. Well, that's what's going to happen when you use any type of a mist or a spray, because what happens when you get a book wet, the pages automatically curl or crinkle. But that's okay, because once this book is shut, you can leave it shut with something hard on it, and guess what? It will go ahead and it'll lay flat once you do that. I really want this to stick nice and well, but I do not want it to ripple. So I'm going to use my Mod Podge to base this piece right here onto my book. You don't want it to get too wet because you know book pages are thin. So you don't want to get it too wet because you don't want it to crinkle. Like I said earlier, you just want a nice coat, but I want it to make sure that it's adhered nice and neat to my book. Now, instead of me opening my book to place this inside, I am going to just do it with the book closed so I can see where things are, so they line up okay. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and piece that down. Now once it's down, then you can open up your book to your page and make sure that it's down and it's not going to be lifting anytime soon. You may have to put a little bit more Mod Podge on once you know that it's down. But I always like to be just a little bit safe than sorry. Nothing ticks me off more than when I get my picture or something down and I have to end up pulling it up because it's stuck and there's no coming off. That makes me so angry. So I try to just do a little bit and then see where we're at and then go from there. So I had a question. Let's see. Jennifer, you know, I watch it on my iPad or my iPod or my phone, and you know, you can do it, but for some reason I can't figure out the chat. It won't let me see the chat that's going on, so sometimes I end up just listening and watching, but you're not able to say anything. So if you ever figure that out, Jennifer, you let me know. Okay, so now we have that lovely day, it says. Now is the fun part. We're going to go ahead and embellish And what we have here I really like these punch outs because they're super fun and easy to use, and they're like kind of like stickers, but not. So I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm going to put that little guy right there, but we need to cut off the sides. Now you can make this, remember, you can make this as crazy and as beautified as you possibly want, or you can keep it nice and simple and clean. It's up to you on the look that you're going for. Okay. I really like that, but I'm not quite sure that I like the height, the length of it, so I'm going to cut just a little bit off. It's a little bit too long for my liking. There we go, that's a little bit better. Maybe I'll take a little bit more off. Okay. This was one of the most popular kits that we had, because like I said, I thought that we had sold out of this, and I found a couple down in my room when I was going over some things today, and I thought, hey, let's pull this one out, because this was one of the most popular kits that we had, which I can see why it's a favorite by everyone. Okay, and I'm going to tear that. I'm just going to brush it with a little bit of this Mod Podge. Now, I'm going to probably go over the whole book with Mod Podge when I'm done, just the outside cover, even if I do not put some paper or something on it, because I am using an antique matte Mod Podge. Let's see, I better put the lid on it or I will dump it all over me. There we go. I'm going to use an antique matte Mod Podge, which has a little bit of the brown tint to it. Okay, so just so you know, that's why I would be doing that. Okay. Now I have this piece that I did cut off of the pink, which this was, sorry about that, this was the bottom piece here that I cut off. I don't know about you, but I always save all of my stuff, my goodies, for fun little things to poke out the edges or for lift pages or something like that. So I may just flip this book open here and put a little more Mod Podge there. And you could use a tape runner or a hot glue gun, and in fact I probably will use a hot glue gun on this one piece because it's going on the cover of the inside and I want it to just be nice and clean. It's right there at the top, I think, right there in the corner. I want it to look like it's behind. Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and take the hot glue gun and run a thin line. Did I ever say that I love my cordless hot glue gun? It's probably one of my faves. I'm just going to shut that because I want it to adhere nice and neat. There, like that. Can you guys see that? Okay. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Now it's all about the embellishments and what we add. Now, we have some numbers in here that you get. You also have a couple of other larger tags and things. Let's see, I'm going to punch out a couple of these circles as well. When you get your kit, yours are already all punched out, so you don't have to worry about punching those out. Just bear with me for one more minute. Okay. So, just going to add some of these little fun little guys. Let's see, can you see that okay? All right. Now, I'm just going to kind of just fiddle with a couple different things, see which one I like the best. I'm kind of liking either the U there at the bottom or the memory at the bottom. I think I'm going to go ahead and go with, I like the U. Maybe we could do the U with a little bit of ink on the back. Let's see what that works out. Maybe we could do a little bit of both. Cut off these little guys and let's ink. Sometimes I hate these little punch outs. We have a love-hate relationship because sometimes I start cutting and I end up cutting the dang image, so then I make it ski-wampus. But that's okay. Gives it a little unique touch, I guess. Okay, I think that's the one we're going to go for. So since we're going to go ahead and get our Mod Podge, I was just dipping in the bottle, but I'm going to get out my cute, fancy, fun little flower here and dump some Mod Podge in it. So I don't have to leave the lid off my Mod Podge and keep dipping in the bottle. Okay. Now these ones, it's okay if we go over because remember I'm going to go ahead and go on the book and do the whole book, so it's okay that I'm going over on these. Not that I need to share with any of you how to use Mod Podge. I'm sure all of you are capable of using Mod Podge, but just in case, I just thought that I'd throw it out there. We may have some new crafters out there that are super excited that want to do some Altered Fun projects. Let's see. Oh yay, Yoli! Hi Yoli! Yoli is here and she's one of my DT members. Super excited to have you here, Yoli. Post your links, Yoli. I'd love for you to post your links, and she has some awesome things as well. Midge, if you want to repost your links too, that would be great. They are super talented and I am so lucky to have them on my design team. They can make some amazing projects. So I like to talk up my design team a little bit because I think that I have some of the best designers out there. They can bring anything new to the table and nothing is ever the same. They always think outside of the box, which I think is fabulous. Okay, now I'm going over the book right now just a little bit, but I still may continue to add, but that's okay. All right, now on the other books, I did a cute banner that I really, really liked. And so we're gonna go ahead and do that same type of a thing. In the embellishments, you get a couple of the banner pieces. Some of them spell thanks, I believe. And so we're just gonna go ahead and take probably just 3 of them because of the size that they are. Now, if you wanted to, you could use some book pages, and this would be a great chance to use some of the insides of the book pages to do that. But I am going to make this a little bit quicker and faster. So if you're in a hurry and you want to do this as a gift or something, you could just quickly do that. Now, you guys, I don't know if any of you ever have any patterns or anything that you don't really like. You know what? If it's not double-sided, turn it over and use the back side. I do that a lot. So I'm just going to take this A and I'm going to turn it over, and I'm just going to ink it. Okay. Now, if you wanted to, you could get a fun stamp out, and you could stamp a fun little image or something on it. But I'm just going to just do a cute banner piece, and I'm going to leave it brown. I may spray it with a little bit of that copper spray just to give it a little bit more of a fun look. And just remember when you spray these that you don't spray too heavily, because if you do, what does your paper do? It crinkles. So you just want to make sure that you don't go crazy on these little banner pieces. Okay. Thank you guys so much for coming out tonight. I am super bummed that my dang Pink concert got canceled. Boo-hoo-hoo. So sad. So freaking sad. She's not coming until January 20th. Gosh dang it. So I'm glad that you guys all came out tonight to support me and show me the love and create with me tonight. Because originally I had planned on not doing a class tonight because of my Pink concert that I was going to. I was so bummed. We have our shirts ready. We were ready to go. Gosh dang it. Okay, so I'm liking how that's looking. Now, if you can remember, I told you that we had some twine in this kit, right? So we're going to take a little bit of twine, and we are going to make a fun little banner with the twine. Now you could just glue it on, just glue the banner pieces on if you wanted to, and tie a little bow on each end out the side, and you definitely can do that. But what we're going to do first is we're going to adhere the twine down first, and then we'll put the banner pieces on top of it. So I'm just going to take off the tape here. And in fact, I'm actually just going to pull it out of my stash so I don't have to take that one and open it. Okay, so we're going to use the green that came in the kit. And I'm just going to need, I don't need a huge piece. And let's see, let's pull this down so you guys can see. Okay, and I really like the shape of that. So I'm going to take my pen or pencil, whatever you want. I'm just going to kind of do a mark on the book, so I kind of know where my banner pieces are going to go, so I can follow them with glue. Okay. Okay, so make sure, remember it's hot, so you want to make sure that you don't get your fingers in there. So maybe use an old pencil or something, or the end of your tweezers or something to push that down with the heat. And while that's still warm, you're going to want to go ahead and take your banner pieces and adhere them to the string. Oops. That little guy doesn't want to connect with me. Make sure that they're nice and stuck. Okay, and then I'm just going to take the ends and tie them as close to the paper as I can into a little knot on each side, and then we're going to just trim the edges off. Okay, so we have those edges, and I'm going to go ahead and trim those. I want them to be a little bit loose, sticking out of the book, just because I like the way that they look. Can you guys all see that okay? Okay. All right. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there, slowly but surely. Now, in this kit, you also get a couple of the little flowers. Like I've been showing the last couple of times, you get a couple of these little cream flowers. And so I'm going to go ahead and cut those off here. And we're going to use those in this book. Now, these, you guys, are paper, so you can ink them, you can spritz them, you can paint them, you can make them your own, and you can make them any color that you wish. So keep that in mind when you are creating. Now that's looking a little heavy. Let's go over to this side and see what we think. Yeah, I'm liking those there. I'm going to put just a little bit of ink on these, not too much, because I don't want to take away. So I'm just going to roll the ink pad around them. So it gives it just a little teeny bit. Oops. Slickery little guys, I say. Just a little bit of pop. Okay. So I'm just going to place those there for 1 minute. Now, we have a couple little butterflies. In the kit. And some of them have patterns on them, and some of them don't. So you can use whatever side that you want to use. And some butterflies are bigger than others. Some are big, some are little. Just kind of depends, which type of butterfly that you get in your kit. But I'm going to just kind of put this little guy, this butterfly, just there. Let me see what it looks like with a cute pattern. I really like the pattern. Some people are pattern people and some people aren't. Some people like just the plain sides. But for this one, I actually am thinking that I'm going to go with just the plain side. So I'm just going to bend his wings just a little bit so I can see him form just a little bit more off the page. And we're going to go ahead and glue you down. Hi, Jen. Jen is here, and she's one of my designers as well. Jen, I would love it if you would share your links to your Facebook page, to your blog. She's another one of my amazing designers. Again, I have to say I have been so blessed with such a wonderful design team. I cannot even tell you. They continue to surprise me each and every day. They are just amazing. Amazing. That might be a little low. I'm going to move it up just a tiny bit before the glue dries maybe. Okay. I don't know, guys, about that butterfly right there. But he's down now. He's not going anywhere. So. Let's see. Where are we liking the flowers, crafters? In the corner, kind of bunched up there by the butterfly. Do I move them over here? I don't like them over there as much. Or do I line them all three up in a row? I'm really kind of liking the row. We have some fun Teresa the Scrapbooking Queen's Royal Bling in this kit as well. So I think I'm going to add those right there at the top of the banner. They're a nice, fun pastel pink color. I think that I'm going to go ahead and just we'll add those to the banner. Okay, I'm liking those all in a row. Midge likes them on the other side. On the other side in a row. Clumped up in a clump. Come on, crafters, help a sister out. I don't like the clump. I like them in a row, and I either like them there or there. What are we thinking, crafters? Help a sister out. Help a sister out. Mind you, we're going to take a nice ribbon and tie a nice big fun bow up here, like we did the other one. So we're going to have some ribbon going along here. I don't know if I like the row. The problem is the butterfly is very powerful, and so I'm not quite sure. I'm going to hold off on the flowers for 1 minute. I know we're going to use them, but I'm going to get our ribbon on here first and then decide. I just don't want it to be too heavy on one side, if you get what I'm saying. Now, I say this every single time that I come on and do my shows, but I'm going to say it again. I absolutely love 3 Girl Jams ribbon. I use it for everything, and I love it. And guess what? I'm going to say this from now on. The House Calls kits are going to have 3 3 Girl Jam crinkle ribbon, which I am super, ooper-de-duper excited about. So I'm going to go ahead and use this fun color here. And I'm sorry, I have my label peeled off, so I'm not quite sure what the color is, but I'm going to glue down these dots real fast before I get going too far. Because if I don't do it now, I'll forget and flip open the book. Oops. And then the book will go flying. The little jewels will be lost and gone forever in my little craft room. This piece seemed to fall off, so I'm just going to add a little line of glue right to it. There we go. Okay. Sweet. Okay, so let's do the ribbon and then we will do the butterfly. Pam, I think that's a great idea. Put some bling in the butterfly. I agree. I think the butterfly needs a little bit of bling. A little bit of bling in the butterfly. Let's get our ribbon in here. Now the ribbon, you guys, is not included in this month's kit. The ribbon is not included in this kit that you would be purchasing if any of you would like the last two. But I'm sure all of you guys have some fabulous ribbon lying around your home or your craft room or your studio or wherever it is that you craft. The great thing about this crinkle ribbon is that when you tie your bows, they still look perfect because the crinkle ribbon is there. So I'm just going to take it and tie it just in a bow a couple of times. Maybe. Sometimes it's so crinkly you can't see what you're doing with these long fingernails. Okay, there we go. And then we'll cut off that little piece there. Nice and crinkly, nice and fun. Let's see. That guy might be a little bit big. I could bring it down just a little bit. There we go. Trim off the edges of the crinkle ribbon. Perfect. Okay, let me get out a couple little jewels to put in the middle of the butterfly. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do 3 little jewels, 3 little, pearls that I have that was in the last month's House Calls kit. It's this fun pearl, iridescent pearl strand. So it looks like bling, but it adds just enough. So I'm going to go ahead and do that real fast. Okay. All right, guys, we're getting down to the tail end of things. How are we liking it so far? I'm really, really liking how this book's coming out. Now, I didn't ink the butterfly, and it's driving me crazy. And I should have inked it before I glued it down, and I didn't. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of try to go back through. Sometimes we jump the gun ourselves, don't we? Well, I don't know about me. Just enough to just make it stand out and pop. Everything else that we've got. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so now, folks, here's the dilemma. Now with the bow on it, do we like them A, under the butterfly, or B, on this end? Everybody send in your votes. Everybody send in your votes. A, under the butterfly, B, on the other side. Let me see if I can lift it up to you so it's clear. Here, or here. Okay, so you guys, let's vote on that, and then next we're going to do the giveaway. Yes, Angela, we will do the giveaway as soon as we vote on where the flowers should go. So I need help. Help, help. Here call the bears. Help, help. Nikki says on the other side, B. B says Pam. B. B, 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 B. Okay. Are those my votes? We're split right down the middle, folks. Well, A. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Well, peeps, I'm going to go ahead and go with under the butterfly. I'm liking under the butterfly now that I got the bling there. So we're going to go ahead and do the under the butterfly. Thank you all so much for your input. And now what we're going to go ahead and do is we are going to do the giveaway. And super duper excited to do the giveaway. Now what we're going to do is we are going to choose a number. We're going to choose a number between 1 and 100. Do not choose your number yet. Do not choose your number yet. You have to wait until I say go, or actually Angela says go. Now remember, you only can choose one number without going over. One number without going over, and the one closest to that will win this mini kit. And then you can alter your book if you want to alter a book, or you can do whatever you want, but only one number. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that up to Angela. I've already told Angela the winning number. So we are going to go for the gold and do that while I continue to play around with this book. So take it away, Angela. You guys are guessing. Let the games begin, peeps. Let the games begin. Woohoo! Let's see, who is our winner chicken dinner? El Nels, 300. Whoop, whoop. Sweet beans. Sweet beans. Super, super excited. Make sure that you email me your information or you can give your information to Angela. You can instant message me. I'm super excited. Woo! Awesome. Okay, what I did here was, you guys, I went ahead and I just spritzed this page with that fun copper Perfect Pearls mist again, and I dried it just to give it a little bit of a nice fun look. Now I'm going to take my Distress ink and I'm going to lift the pages up here and I'm going to distress around this area here. So that's when like a cat eye, this is when like a cat eye chalk box would really, really come in handy. So you could just kind of go around your pages like this, but any type of an ink pad will work. Or you can do a dauber, a finger dauber, which I have right here. And these come in quite handy as well. They're like a little finger dauber. Okay, so I'm going to just take it one more time and just make sure I get a nice, clean, thick brown around those edges. See what that does. I don't know if any of you guys use these daubers, but sure makes them nice. Okay. All right, guys. Now, there's one other thing that I really would like to add. And again, I know that it didn't come in the kit, but I can tell you where to get it because I really like it. I got these fun bling pieces. I got these at the Dollar Tree, just my local dollar store, and I really, really like them a lot. I wanted to add just a fun little dangly here, but it might be a little bit too long. So I may double it. And take off this last piece. Let's see, maybe we will just undo it to take off a couple pieces because it is kind of long. And then I think we're going to be all but done with this book, guys. How are we liking it so far? Okay. Let's see. Okay, I am having a heck of a time getting it to let me, oh, there we go, unstring a couple of these pieces here. I'm just taking off a couple of these jewels just so it's not quite as long. And we're going to go ahead and take it and loop it back up. Is that a good length? Maybe just a couple more. Now remember what I had said earlier, you guys, it's all about the finishing touch of your project. Make sure that you take the time. I believe in taking the time to finish your projects to make them look unique and one of a kind. Take that extra time to put an extra jewel or two on your projects, because those finishing touches are really what make the project. So let me just cut this wire. And let's see, just twist, twist, twist. Or I can get a pair of wire cutters out of my drawer real quick. In fact, that's what I'm going to do so you don't have to wait all night, and cut that piece off. Perfect. So I cut the piece off there. Can you see that? Made it a little bit shorter. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and hook it into this ribbon here so it dangles. Okay, and there we have our book, our fun book. I could have gone, I guess, a little teeny bit shorter if I wanted to. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off this hook here. Sorry, guys. It's driving me nuts. I'm going to take off the hook, bend that back down like that, and then I'm going to go ahead and just untie that second piece of a bow right there and put it inside there. The good thing about crinkle ribbon too is that it does basically anything you want. It folds, it bends, it twists, it turns. Now if we can just get this little guy through the hole, we will be complete. There we go. So there's that. I'm just going to tie the other little bow. Cut my ends again so there's no fraying. And voila. Okay, ladies, let me move everything off my table here and you guys tell me what you think about our book. I'll try to, let's see if I can lift up the camera just a little bit. I absolutely love, but do you see how simple, you guys? We didn't even use any of this pattern paper. We only used the embellishments and a couple tags pieces. So, like I said, you guys, you can do it just to several different things, to make these books different and unique in their own way. So I'll show you again real quickly. This is what this book would look like if I were to put a picture in instead of the piece of paper. And that's darling as well. Okay, so love that with that sweet little picture of my daughter there. You can do that, and if you want, use temporary stuff, so you can continue to change it. So you can use the picture. So there's this one. You all saw, I'm going to hot glue this flower down so it doesn't keep falling off on me. Then there's this one. And then there's this one. You can make it masculine as well. you guys. So, you know, make them your own, make them unique, make them, you know, the way that you want them to be. So I hope that you guys enjoyed tonight's class. Again, like I said, those kits are on sale. And if you would like to get one, like I said, I only have 2 available. The one was already given away for a fabulous prize. And then before we all go, I would like to just tell you guys all a big thank you for coming and supporting me and supporting my show. I also would like to remind you all that our kit is going to be released on Friday and Saturday. Our design team has created some amazing projects for November using our kit. So I am so super excited about the release there on Friday. And then I would love for you to join me again here on Tuesday night, 6 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, to create a wonderful project using that kit. So until then, you guys, I hope you all have a fabulous evening. I love all of you, and I will yak at you all later. Thank you so much. You guys have a great night. Bye-bye.